Good morning, art buddies, and welcome to my channel, Collage with Paint Girly. I am so sorry. I've just got myself all in a twist, and I was late getting back from the grocery store, and I wanted to post my live before I left the house this morning. And when I forgot, I put it unlisted, not public. It just so I'm sitting here, I'm recording, I'm doing my thing, and I'm thinking, why is not even one person joining me yet? And then it hit me. It's not public. You didn't make it public. You made it unlisted. It's just one of those days, and I should have just said, maybe we'll skip it today. But here I am. So forgive me for being late and for having my settings incorrectly set. So I'm going to rewind a little bit here because I was working around my desk. Oh my goodness. Jenny, hi. So I'm a little embarrassed, but you know what? Life goes on. I'll survive. No harm, no foul. I just feel stupid. So I want to create some grunge. I don't feel that this is my strong suit. I like grunge and vintage looking things. And did I bring my phone out? Somewhere I think I brought my phone. So there's a gal that I follow on Instagram. I'm saying gal. Her hands look like she's a gal. I don't know her name. But her Instagram account is called Paper Palace. No, paper. Oh, what the heck does she call herself? I have it in the description box. I'm just going to pull up one of her little videos so you can see kind of what I'm working towards. Good morning, Joyce. It's very nice to see you. Paper Palace Queen. I couldn't remember Queen. So see these little books she makes? I want to make it. Now I've got two really large old covers that I got from Pearl. I'm going to cut those apart to the size that I want, but I'm trying to recreate pages that look like this. Now this gal, I think I have the right gal. She does give she does have a workshop, but of course it's full and it's in Bath in the UK, which I'm not opposed to going to Bath. I've been there once. I would certainly go again. But the class is full. Now, if you find her on Instagram, she's got several little reels where you can see these little books. Now, this particular book, hey, Teresa, good morning. I think it's only a 2x3 or 2x3.5. That's really small. So making mine a little larger, not much larger, but a little larger. And I'll show you my pages. So I've been doing some prep work, but I'm not totally prepped. See, she leaves all the threads and strings on. I just think they're yummy. So that's my goal, to see if I can replicate the queen. So I've decided to do this size. This is 5x4. So, when I fold it, it's still small. But this is this is like 2.5x4. And hers is, a half inch shorter and about an inch shorter here. So hers are really little. But creating the grunge, I think, is going to be a struggle for me because I don't dye a whole lot. Look at me. I'm already a mess, and I just started. So yesterday, I trimmed my papers down. I just used what I had laying around. Book pages, regular paper. This is the back of a calendar, as you can see. You got to lurk. Okay. All right. I have someone here. Yeah, I'm not ill. I don't know. Angie AA03. I'm not sure I know who you are, but I'm not ill. So that's good. But welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. There's Brenda Mac, I should say. Maybe Brenda. Oh, is it Angela Adele? Oh, AA, Angela Adele. Marty. Hi, Marty. Oh, Angela, hi. No, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, honey. There's Peggy. So I came on to my original listing for today's live, and I'm going and I'm chatting away for a good 20 minutes, and I'm like, not even Jacqueline has popped in to say hi. What is? And then it occurred to me, I had the stream on unlisted. Okay, Angela Adele, there she is. I was unfamiliar with this account here. Nice to see you. Oh, ladies, hello, hello. It's not, it feels weird. I've done videos and you're by yourself and you talk, but it feels weird when you're doing a live and you're by yourself. It just feels a little weird. All right. So to prep, now I did just show the little books that I'm trying to mimic or to make. And so I did cut these pages down so I can make a small book. Now, I'm not going to do the covers today. That'll be another time. I just wanted to see if I can grunge up some paper for my pages. Now, I spent some time yesterday with Carol from My Quiet Corner, and I showed her the little book. And as she kind of felt that the pages were stitched in, but I don't know, they don't look stitched into me. So I don't know if she's maybe just glues them or whether they're all singles and she glues, clamps them and glues them. So I'm not sure how I'm going to put them together quite yet. But the first step is to grunge them up. Okay. So these are my pages. As you can see, some of them I've stitched and put some additional paper and whatnot on because I wanted to stain those as I go. And some are still plain. This is just packaging that I'm making into a journal. And I just grabbed it because I had to iron some of my paper earlier. I've been up since like 6 o'clock. And I thought, well, let me see if I can get some of the pages dyed and dry so then I can make them even grungier. And so I've just been busy prepping stuff and I just need a lot of pages. I need a lot of pages to get the look I'm going for, you know. So I stamped a little bit, I pulled out different pages that I had, ledger paper, book paper, kind of like wrapping paper style. I mean, I just pulled out a bunch and just cut them to the 5x4 size. So these all have to be grunged up. Oh, I didn't do any of the book paper. And so some of them I stitched. I took a handful last night and worked on some till I was just like, oh, I gotta stop. And then I've got some other bits that I've torn here. I printed off some things like this that I want to grunge up so I can glue on some pages. So it's just whatever. So I've got a variety of sprays here that I pulled out. And I've got my distress ink here. I pulled out my scribble sticks because I don't really use these. So I thought maybe I'll try these. And then on the first video, I just got out some little Timmy tidbits and just spritzed them with some vintage photo stain. So I've got those going. So I've got a couple of things going here. And I thought I would use my jelly plate to make some impressions or try to get some aging or some grunge, onto my papers. All right. So Peggy had a birthday. Did you have a nice day yesterday, Peggy? At one point, I think she had been out celebrating, so hopefully she had a good day. Of course, Angie Brown had a birthday on the 27th of December. I think there was somebody else who had a birthday in the beginning of January. But that person's name is not coming to me. Okay, so this is just a book page. And it already looks kind of, old. But I want it. You had lunch with family. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you had a great day. That's even better. So I was telling everyone who wasn't at my other stream this morning, your birthday was yesterday too, Teresa. Oh, hi, Linda. I didn't sing happy birthday to, I did sing happy birthday to Peggy. I'm going to sing happy birthday to Teresa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Teresa. Gee, we sure do love you. I hope you had a nice day, Teresa. Oh, I didn't realize. I don't always pay attention. All right. So what I did was I had an 8x10 jelly plate, and I had the bigger one as well. And I was finding I was using the big one most of the time, and I was wanting smaller. Um, you're welcome. Smaller sections. So I just whacked up my 8x10, which has worked out well for me. It might not for everybody, but it works out well for me. In here, I have a concoction of instant coffee and avocado juice that I usually keep just the instant coffee in my fridge. But this one, I had some avocados, so I cooked those down and added that. To me, you can't really see that it's got a hint of, pinkness or whatever. So I've got this, which is what I have been facing these white pieces of paper in, because they're just so very white. So I wanted a starting point. So I did some of these this morning and then ironed them to dry them. And then I thought, well, it might be nice to have something a little darker or thicker. So in this little pot here, we'll show you in a little bit, I put some of this elixir, if you will, in my microwave and cooked it down. So I'm anticipating this one will be a little thicker, a little stickier, and give me more intense color, more intense grunge. So what I was explaining when you weren't here is I just usually paint this on. Sometimes I paint it and move it all around it so it's like out and very even. But other times I'll just dribble spots, and make it juicy. And then I put the next page right down on top of it, give it a squish, flip it over, and just leave it. Or I might do this. All different. I do whatever because you get bored. At least I do. Maybe Jacqueline doesn't. But I get bored sitting and just painting. And then when I get a whole stack of wet paper like this, I'll get my iron out. Now, Teresa was gracious and gifted me one of the little craft irons, which is really fun, and I use it. But when the paper's really wet like this, it kind of really takes forever to dry the paper. So I usually get my big iron out and kind of like steam dry these. You can use your heat tool too, but that takes forever, and that's probably a lot more energy. Whatever. I mean, I usually just use an iron. Now you can also just leave it sit and let it air dry, but no. Miss Lori, she's gotta be, getting things done and being in a hurry and not planning ahead. I would have to prep a week ahead of time. I never know what I'm doing a week ahead of time. I just, it's just not my life. It's just not the way I go. So then once I was cutting these pages, of course, I had little bits left over. Well, that's not a little bit. That's a full-on page. So I've got plenty of these to do. Now, let me show you that. I'm going to show you that video again in case some of you haven't gone over to her channel and looked, just so you have an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish. I can't imagine anybody has a source to find old crap paper like she uses. But you know, you never know. I sure don't know. All right, so let me see. I need to go here and then here, here, here. Now hers are really small. They're like 2 by 3 or 2 by 3.5. And her name is Paper Palace Queen. You see the little bits? See how they're all stringy and thready, and I think they just look delicious and fun, right? But see, to me, the way they're opening, they don't look hinged. So I don't know. She does not have any online workshops. She just does an in-person workshop. And like I said, it's in the UK. If I got the right lady, I think I do. She's in the UK, and the course that she offers is full. So I don't want to wait. I just think they're adorable. You know? So I noticed the last couple of times through that she does have some other color in there. So that's why I got out my scribble sticks. And I thought it might be fun to play around with those to see if I can add some color. Aren't they darling? And she's got other videos, other little reels that show you other little journals like that she's done. I gotta move stuff out of the way here so I can see my chat. I know, right, Peggy? Aren't they fabulous? So I thought some of the grunginess I could do on my jelly plate by just puddling my liquid and just sopping it up. You know, the string fat. Yes, that's one thing Carol said. Just looks like a bunch of strings on papers, which is true. It does. And, you know, if I want a little, maybe a photo. Now, this I printed. Let's see what this looks like if I grunge it up. Now, I think they need to be grungier. Oh, that looks better. But see, there's a little bit of color here. Of course, I can come back and darken these edges. So I've got tons of paper over here that I cut. Now, some, like this one, I did some tissue paper on one side, put a little lace, and just plain paper on the back side. And I didn't stitch them all. Probably will stitch more at some point. But then I printed some stuff, and then I started to tear that, like this little gal. She was on one corner. I didn't have time to fuss around to get a bunch of photos on one page. So I would put her on, then I printed on the other side. So then I had these little bits. And then I thought, well, it might be fun to have some words. So I just picked out some words that I thought were, I don't know, inspiring, maybe not even inspiring, maybe just good words. I don't know. So just to have some of this kind of stuff available. And then I did pull out my tin that has my little tinny bits in it. And I did some of that. Now, these I just sprayed with my vintage photo spray. I don't think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to paint these too. Just to you know, get something going here. So I've got something littler that's not real bright and, you know, in your face. Now, of course, these are wet. So if I need to, I can get my iron and plug that back in. Now they're sticking in my fingers. So these can dry while I'm messing around. You can use, of course, your washi tape. I made some tinkle tape before you arrived. Now I've just got, you know, some different things here that I think might look good. I've got pieces of fabric, of course, I can grab. Um, cheesecloth, who knows where that is, but I'm sure I can find some. So I've just got a bunch of stuff here. Now, I'm just busy, yapping away here, so I hope I didn't miss anyone. There's Terry. Good morning, Terry. Nice to see you. Okay, so in this pot is my cooked down coffee and avocado juice. Not sure what this is. Now, see, it's a little thicker, not a whole lot. So I'm not really sure how this is going to look. And I can cook this down more. So that gives it's a nice color. Maybe just do the edges, some of these. So really, you can just use up a bunch of your stash. You could use scrapbook paper. I mean, I don't think it really matters. It just looked like anything that looked grungy was in that book. So see, I've got a bunch of these now. I have, of course, a new sewing machine, which I said to Jacqueline, I don't know. I have to look. I'm not sure. To me, you turn the dial. That's where the stitch is. You run the machine. It should do that stitch. There's Carol. Hi, Carol. But the stitches didn't match what's on my chart. So I don't know if there's a certain settings I have to do. So I have to investigate that. I just didn't have time because I wanted to get some pages ready to work with. So like something like this, I'm thinking I might need a darker edge. But I also was thinking I should probably put some different colors on here because the examples that I showed you, there were some other different colors. So I haven't really ever used these scribble sticks. So I thought, well, what if I just start scribbling? So last night I decided I wanted to color a little bit. Oh my goodness, is my hand sore this morning? Of course, I don't think I have any. Oh, that's silly. Look, I'm putting that right on top of it. Do I have any water here? I might have to go get some water. There is the. Usually I have my little jug. I don't have the jug. All right, I'm going to have to go get some water because I mean that looks okay, but I want to be able to see some of the color. Now I'm not sure. Can you? I still need water. But even when I did the strings, when I stitched and left the strings long, and then I went to dye it, see, and then they curled up, or they were curling on one in front of this page, and you get some cool markings. But you could do markings. I'm thinking you could do anything, right? Look, I have this tag. I bought something from Three Birds Lane, and I'm just thinking, this is going to look cool. Just glued on a page, right? Oh, what's Teresa say? You can use some pretty markers on that gel plate too and pick it up. And think about markers. I want it to kind of look like it's maybe not like a marker, like a definitive line. I guess maybe. I'll be right back. Not Barbara. Okay, Peggy's just going to her craft room. I bet you we know what she's going to work on. All right, so I'm going to go to the kitchen and get some water, plain water in this dish, and maybe some pretty marks like, yes, flowers. And I thought about leaves, Teresa, but my husband cleaned up the backyard so well before his surgery. There's not a stinking leaf to be had. Of course, there might be some by the front. Yeah, there's some by the front door I could have grabbed. Speaking of my husband, he's on my list. Oh my gosh. You know, most of you know that he's had surgery and he's got his foot in a cast. He can't put any weight on that foot. Okay, so now I'm looking for my pokey tool. I just stuck my arm on it before you guys arrived, and now I can't find it. But he doesn't want, he wants to be as normal as he can be in the situation that he's in. Okay, I get that. Okay, I get that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Teresa. Well, so, I said, you want to go to church tomorrow? He said, I'd like to. And I said, well, if you can, I can take you over, and I can pick you up too if you want. I just need to know what to do as far as streaming. I said, but if you can get a ride home, that would be great. So he asked, if he could get a ride home. And of course, folks at church are very gracious. So he's got a ride home, no problem. So we're going to leave this morning. And so he's coming out the front door. But no, see, this is the thing, girls. See, we just can't come out the front door. See, we have to act like our foot is not in a cast and that we're not using a scooter. So we not only want to come out the front door, we want to come out the front door and close the front door behind us, And I'm like, I can get the door. And I guess I did say it with a little bit of an attitude, but as I said this, he starts to fall. Well, he's 6'4". Okay. He's not super chubby, but he's a big man. Down he goes. Scooter flips over. We got all this crap by the front door. I said, I'm moving this crap. He's fine. But it's just frightening for me. He's not intentionally trying to show off. I know that, but it's like, just let me close the front door. Let me do our whole married life, I've done very little for this man because it's just his way. He's just self-sufficient, which is fine. But when you're laid up, could you just let your partner do a little something for you? Okay, all right. Enough of that. Yeah, so he falls out the front door. So that was the start of so that started us off. All right, I'm getting water. I'm coming back, and I'm going to try to get some of these pages to where I think they look cute, like the Paper Palace Queens looks. I should put out water. Now, some of her other books, I think, are mostly grunge. I noticed when I watched this particular reel I showed you, I noticed that she did have some color. So I just pulled out all, plain paper, white paper that I could fuss around with. But her colors, the color on it looks good too. All right, so now I think I want to get a different brush here. I know, it's like they don't want to be helped. And I get that. And I get him wanting to be independent. I get that. I mean, I get that too, but enough is enough already. One thing at a time. So from the kitchen, our house is open, like an open floor plan. Like when you stand in my front door, you can see my back slider doors here to my craft room that then leads out to the backyard. You can see straight through. That's a small house. We only have 1,400 square feet. But from the kitchen into like what would be the dining room, is hardwood floor. And it's, they put that little strip of wood that kind of just raised up a little bit. Well, it kind of like stops the scooter. So he has to really think and stop and then lift the scooter up and so he's thinking about taking that strip off. I'm like, or how about slowing the heck down? I mean, he zips. He goes out to get the mail. He zips. I'm afraid he's just going to fly out into the street. It's like living with a 6-year-old. Goodness me. Okay. All right. So now concentrate, Lori. Concentrate. So I want to try to thicken or darken this up, I should say. So I've got some other sprays here. This one, who knows what happened to the label? This might be a black. Let's just see. I should get a test page that I'm not really going to. Well, maybe I'll get a piece of one of these. I don't want to use any good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, to me, it's all good stuff. All right. I'm not sure if any of these are going to spritz. Oh, yeah. This is dark. Oh, yeah. That's really dark. So, see, that might be nice to do like. Let's add some water to that. Now, of course, you want to be able to get this done. You don't want to be fussing like for 3 weeks on this kind of stuff. But you could just do marks, splotches, do the edges. Maybe I don't like that calendar. I'll just, block it out. And then I can glue something else on top of there. Just a thought. I'm wondering how, like, something like this. Oh, yeah, like that. Hold on, wait till you see this. So this was already damp, and I tore the edge, and it's just sucking up a little bit. See, I think that looks cool, right? So I guess you just mess around. Now, this gal, I'll call her Queen. She, like I said, she has a workshop. So I'm sure she shares her technique and how she grunges things up. But most of us, are not going to be able to do that. All right, so now back to the scribble sticks. So I was thinking like, maybe I should get this jelly plate up a minute. I was thinking like where I have some light spots, I could try the scribble sticks. And, I'm thinking like mostly like a green or a blue, maybe a mauve kind of a color. I only have 12 of these, so my color choices were limited. But when I think of things getting old, I think of them getting moldy and green, or that patina, that blue color. Now these supposedly move. Oh yeah, that looks okay. So I'm just adding here and there. I'm just going to add some color. Of course, I could have used paper that already had color, but I didn't think of that when I was prepping some of this stuff. Let's try some light blue. I'm not sure how you get that patina look. I was thinking turquoise might be a little too deep. Well, the blue and the green, I guess, kind of could give you that, couldn't it? And if you do anything like this and you don't like it, I mean, truth be told, you put a sticker or something over it, right? Who's going to know? No one. They're going to say, oh my gosh, that looks so great. And then you just say, thank you. You know, you don't say, oh, wow, I wanted it to be, you know. Okay, these I don't see a name on them as far as the color. Um, oh no, look, I lie. It's right there, eggplant. What is this one? Mineral. How about it? There you go, olive. All right, so let's try this eggplant. Let's see. Let's put a little eggplant. And then I'm just going to move this around. You know, they blend pretty nice. Does anybody else use scribble sticks? I think I might like something right down there. I thought I had black. What else do I have here? Yup, black. And then I've got other colors too. Blackberry. I just pulled out the ones I thought would go with what I'm working on. What's this one? I'll be darned. Oh, see this one? I don't see a color. Unless this color is scribble stick. But that's what they're called. I don't see a color on this one. Maybe this is the one I was looking for a color name. That's why I didn't think they were on. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, look at that side. Isn't that cool looking? There's not much I want to do to this side. That's kind of cool. Let's try it on this. Now, I got to be careful because on this jelly plate, I could certainly tear this paper. Well, I did tear it. Well, there you go. Watch Paint Girly. She'll give you several ideas of what not to do. Dun, dun, dun. So then I was thinking when I put stuff down on the jelly plate, I could pick it up like splotches and make maybe some cool looking pages. Let's see. So I'm going to get out. It's not super thick, but it is a little thicker than my original coffee concoction. I had it in the microwave. And of course, Scooter was like, what do you have in them? I'm like, I'm cooking liquid. Girls, it's been a struggle. It really hasn't been that bad. But, you know, when you're used to it, he's always out and about, you know. He did go play cards Friday night. Thank God. Got him out of the house for a little bit. Now, see, I put that in the wrong order. He's not bored, so that's good. But I'm not used to him being home so much, you know? Him going out's a wonderful thing. Okay, so that kind of looks. Now I'm going to just squish this down. Oops, 2 pages. 2 pages. Oh, see, that looks kind of cool, huh? Now, like I said, I just stack a bunch of these up and then I'll take my iron and iron them because it's cooler out here in my room. We don't really have the counter space to have these laying all over for hours to dry. And if you want to get going and start, you know, working with your stuff, you have to get it dry. So I've got some other sprays here. This is antique linen. So this is more of I think a greeny yellow. It's not like burlap. Burlap, it's got a little bit of a green to it. But it's in that same vein of being antique and old. And hey, Ange. Let's see, I've got a lot of this stuff here that's already done. Let me get this. And I was thinking you could stamp. So I did use a stays on there. I know Joyce doesn't like it because it doesn't go anywhere. But in this case, it might be an advantage because, you don't want to lose what you put down. Now, this is called tea dye. And this has a little bit of a red look to it, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Now, I'm not so fond of that spotty kind of a look. So if I put it on the plate and it looks all spotty, can you see those little dots? And it's going to pool even still. But if I move it around, I'm going to get a different look. Now that certainly is more red, but that's not bad looking. Not bad at all. It's going to go in the stack to dry. I just want to see what some of these other... Now this one still has a paper around it, but the cap, it's unwrapped. This is called melted chocolate. Oh, here we go. Oh, that looks very dark. Oh, this might be a winner. See, that looks cool to me. Ooh. It does not smell like chocolate. Oh, that's a nice color. Oh, girls, look at that. Oh, look at that dark edge. Yes, please. So we'll put that there. Now, where's my photo of my gal? Where did I put my gal? My gal. I think she's buried over here. I have another gal somewhere. I printed a couple gals, so here she is. Yeah, this is a nice color. Oh, yeah. Look. Right? So you just do whatever your eye likes, We're just trying to trick the eye into thinking we've got old, valuable documents to put in our little book. Our little book. That's just plain nice. That's just plain nice. Okay, vintage photo. Move over, bub. Now, this is some kind of, wasn't really wrapping paper, I don't think. Some kind of decorative paper. So I'm going to use, whoa. Now, if you're using these sprays, the best thing is do is, when you use them, you're done using them, take it and wipe the little nozzle. Try to keep that nozzle clean so you don't run into issues the next time you want to use it. So I've got that on that side, and then I stamped on this side. So I'm just going to add some of that. And then I could go ahead and spray on a lighter color. Let's get that antique linen. Kind of fill that in. So that looks kind of not too bad. And then I'll be adding stuff on top of some of these pages for sure. This one is black soot. I think we know what that looks like. This is a vibrant, no, slate gray. I'm not sure about slate gray. Let's give it a go, shall we? wipe their snoot. Who's wiping whose snoot? Right, so this is slate gray. And I still have some of that chocolate on here, I do believe. Now, I don't think I can slap and drag here because the jelly plate, you know, kind of grabs the paper. Oh, that's kind of interesting, ladies. Can you see that? That looks old. All right, let's just spot this. So once you start doing this and you get in the groove and you see what you like, then you can just keep making them, you know. But her books were very thick and chunky, which I liked. So I think you need a lot of pages. Now, maybe all of you weren't here when I showed the video. I can show it again. I guess I'm allowed to show it. Gosh, nobody said otherwise to me. I guess it's okay. It's posted on Instagram, so I don't know. I'm telling you who it's for. Who it's from. This is an Instagram account by Paper Palace Queen. And there's these little grungy books, little grungy journals. Now I gotta get to the right spot. And now when you're looking, I want you to look at these pages and look and see what your best guess would be as to how she puts them together and in the book. They're only about 2 by 3. Now see, I do not see any stitched thread. Do you think she puts the signature blocks together? I'm sure she glues it, and then it looks like she wraps something around the spine, or she may have a piece of spine from another book and, glues them in. But, I don't know. It doesn't look stitched to me. But there aren't a lot of threads in the center. The threads look like they're out the top and along the side. It doesn't look like to me, it doesn't look like there's too many threads in the center. All right, what did I use that last time? The gray. A slate gray. Let's put a little more of that down. So now, what if you don't have these sprays? Let's talk about that. What are some ideas? Now, I mix coffee and water, instant coffee and water. You can get it at the dollar store in most cases, so you're not paying, a lot of money for it, because this is what, you're just making old-looking pages, so you don't want to put good coffee down. You know what I'm saying? So what else could we use? Rit dye. Now, I guess that can be pricey, too, and that might not be as convenient. I'm sure you could use some kind of vegetables, right? Depends on what color. Watered down acrylic paint. Ink. Inky dink. Inky dink. Where's that chocolate? I think the melted chocolate's my favorite. Yes. Acrylic paint melted down. Peggy and I are on the same wavelength. And really, you could use watercolor paint as well. It's just that you have to remember that if you're going to do any other wet type of medium on top of it, your watercolor is going to move. And that might be okay with you, which is fine, which is doubly fine. One thing I didn't think about when I put down some washi tape and some stickers and then ironed it, they can melt. So you gotta think all around your situation. Now this one here, see, now I really like this. This, I took a quilt. It had a top layer, bottom layer, and then that fluffy stuff in between, the batting. An old quilt. So I pulled all 3 layers apart and then I used them separate. This is just a piece of that batting from the quilt. I love that. I think that looks terrific. Now, this I know is not for everyone. Jersey Laura was on last night and she said, I'm a bright and cheery. She likes bright and cheery colors. So that's fine too. I guess I'm kind of middle of the road there. I'm not like dark goth stuff. Halloween's not my jam. But I do like vintage or old looking stuff. This second, after a while, looks like animal print. There's another piece of that fluff. Love that stuff. I'm going to have to get my iron plugged in again, I think. Methinks. Now, I had a couple of pieces of that calendar left. And I thought, I could get those monthly words cut out. This was also different. This was more like a, who's your mama? Hello. Welcome. Okay. So this one's kind of beaten up on that paper. This is more, it wasn't wrapping paper, but it's more like a wrapping paper. Of course, you could be doing acrylic paint on your jelly plate too and doing the same kind of thing. All right, let's see. You can tear your edges and stuff too. You just do whatever, I'm thinking. It always looks better to me when somebody else does it. See, now that kind of, it's not moving there at all. Now, I wonder if I spritzed it. Now, that's alcohol in here. But see, it's not it's not running. It's not moving. So, 2 sides to every coin, right? 2 coins in a fountain. Which coin will the fountain choose? I don't think that's the words. I don't think they're the words. Let's get some of this lace to mop up some of this. Yeah, take a piece out of the middle, Lori. That's always a good plan, honestly. As Jacqueline would say, some people's children. And that just went in the drink. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. Let's see. Let's a couple more. See, these are all pages. that I had cut, I believe. These are the right size, if I'm not mistaken. Now, in the summertime, if I leave this coffee sit on my desk, a lot of the liquid evaporates, and I'll come out, and it'll be real thick and like sticky, almost like a paint consistency. Now that's nice because see, then I can put that out and put a stamp in it, and I can stamp with the liquid. I miss Debbie. Bon Lipke. I don't know if oh, Kool-Aid pack. So I didn't think about that. I don't know if I know you, Bon, but welcome in. Good morning. So then and when it's real thick and sticky, it's kind of fun to use that way. All right. So at some point you have to stop and dry what you have. And then I want to fold these and then start gluing on some other stuff. Like I say, some of them I'll take back to the sewing machine. I got the sewing machine for Christmas, so it's new to me. I have wound a bobbin like 3 times now and threaded it several times, and it's going okay. So that's a plus. The old machine, I was like, I could do that with my eyes shut. But the new one is totally, totally different, as you would expect. And maybe Scooter's home. What time is it? Yeah, maybe. Let's see. So I'm going to use this. Where did I put the iron? It's big, and there it is. Now I can blow a fuse very easily. I'm using the big iron because I want to dry some more pages. Now this may not work for you, and you may be a patient soul, and so you can wait. Of course, summer it's easier because it's warmer and the pages dry quicker. Maybe you like to put yours in the oven. That hurts my back. Bending over the oven, back and forth, in and out. I'd rather just iron it. I don't really like to iron clothes, but I don't mind ironing paper. Truth be told. So, and I said earlier, Teresa was kind enough to give to me a little craft iron, and it's so cute. It looks like a little pal, and it works well on a lot of things. But when I have wet papers like this, it just takes, a little while. So I'll get out the big boy when I'm going to do this. Okay, honey. I just need it to be dry so I can fold it and glue other stuff to it. Now, if it's real wet, sometimes I hover the iron over top, because if it's real wet, sometimes you'll get some pilling of your paper until it, I just feel like, okay, it's right, and then I sit it down, and it really just takes a minute or so, and it dries it pretty nicely. So my husband was teasing me the other day. I said to a couple of gals, he's not really a funny type. He's not like, he doesn't have like a sense of humor. He's just kind of even keel, doesn't make a lot of jokes. And so I spied what I thought was a TV in the closet in his bedroom. And I asked him I said, what is that in there? He said, it's an extra monitor. Gosh, I hope I didn't tell you guys this story before. I know Jacqueline's heard it before. And I said, well, can that be hooked up to the other monitor? And he said, well, you need a computer. I said, well, can 2 monitors be hooked to 1 computer? To which he said, I don't really know. And then he said, You barely have 12 inches to do your crafting. Where are you going to put another monitor? Okay. I said, well, I can clear a space. He said, 12 inches. You don't even have 12 inches. Work. Well, which is true. It's like right here. Of course, the camera, unless I hang the camera from the ceiling, it only records so much space. And most of the time, I have plenty of room to do it. If I could work it, it would be nice to have. I was saying to Carol, my quiet corner, Carol, I could have two monitors, like Barb Owen does, and she can flip to herself. Of course, then I'd have to, put my teeth in and I'd have to put on some maybe lip gloss and make sure my hair is brushed. So these are all things to consider, Marty. But it might be nice to have that option. So I don't know. Because I got stuff. Speaking of hair, I did say I was going to the hairdresser. You're done eating? Did you have anything good, Ange? I got a new hair color. I don't really know what it's called. I would call it eggplant. I love it. Now, my hair previous to, when did I go? Friday. Previous to Friday, I had blonde streaks in the front, which I liked. And then I had some other color growing out. So there were some lighter spots. And she said, what do we do? Why don't we just do the color? She said, do you care about losing that blonde? And I'm like, no, not really. I said, I'm open to, suggestions or something different. I just knew I wanted to go. I had gone more red last time. Not a huge fan for me, on me, I should say. So I wanted to go back towards, a purple color tone. I said, I just want to, go more plum. So we talked about a color. She showed me a couple of things, and so we decided. And she said, "Okay." And so she did it. Oh my gosh, I love it! I love it. A couple people I sent pictures to, they like it. So there's some different shades because I had, different lightnesses in my hair. So it kind of looks like, I had it foiled that way, but I didn't really. I don't know if I can, once I'm done ironing, if I can get close enough to the camera where I can put my head underneath and you can see it's just really a pretty color. Angie said she had ribs, slaw, mashed potatoes, deviled eggs, pinto beans, and cornbread. I would probably enjoy that meal myself, Ange. Now, see, I don't remember what I put on here. Was this? I don't think was that the chocolate. Look how red that looks. Now, see, this has got some thickness here. That was the chocolate. The chocolate might have a little bit of a redness behind. Yeah, I had a half of a protein shake sitting here, and I had a little sandwich on the way home from the market because I knew I was going to be short on time. I just didn't realize how short on time. All right, so where's my little lady here? Lady, here she is. Let's try her. Let's see. We'll dry her so we can get her down, and then let's see if we can get some of these pages going. Now, this I'm not crazy about, but I'll probably use it somewhere. See, because it looks speckled. Not a super fan of that. Now, of course, you can ink a lot of this stuff, All right, I think they're dry enough. I can work with some of these. Right, see now this has the washi tape on it, so this is a little fiddly. This was packaging. It's like a waffle. So I put that on there. Of course, I didn't pull out any cheesecloth yet. So there's cheesecloth, ribbon. Use your stash. There's seam binding stuff, A lot of us have that kind of stuff in our stash. I think all that stuff really would look cool on some pages. Personally, I think it would look cool. Tape, stencil, oxides. Okay, let's see if I can scoot up here. Let me see. Look. Look. Can you see? I love it. Love it. All right, so I think I want to pick this up so I have a nice solid surface. Start to try to hold some of this. Now, let's see. This is damp from all that wet paper going through. So I'm going to grab a paper towel and clean up that condensation. I was surprised one time at one of Jacqueline's sales. We got talking about hair color, and there are a lot of us that have purple hair or purple highlights or some kind of purple. Now I'm just going to fold these in here. All right, so back to the question. I don't know if anybody answered, but how do you think those turmeric roasted potatoes? Oh, I never heard of that. That sounds interesting. Really, Marty? Oh, Marty, I forgot about the purple. See, now that looks cute, right? Right, this is my dry stuff over here. I love it. I mean, I had purple before, but it was a designer purple. It bled, which was okay, but I did have the bleach blonde, which kind of made it nice. But it didn't last very long, and I'm cheap. I don't, and I lose the whole day. I've been going to a gal in Pennsylvania, and Gail said to me, "Why are you going all the way over there?" And I get what she's saying, but I have family over there, so I can do visits while I'm over there. And this gal does a nice job. She's my sister's clinician or whatever, hairdresser, whatever you want to say it. And her price is great. I can't beat it. And to me, it's worth it. I don't do much for myself in the way of self-care. Okay. It was a new recipe that I tried. It was just okay. Trying to get more to yes. Did you ever try that milk? They say make the turmeric milk. I don't know if I could drink it. All right, so here's see, I don't think the pages don't look like they're like this. When she's turning the pages, they don't look like that to me. They look like they're like this. When she opens one and she starts turning pages, to me, this is how they look. I don't know. Is that pot? Am I a loon? Am I a loon? Don't answer. Don't answer that question. Now, this paper had like the lace kind of look on the one side. Oh, does it, Marty? Yeah, you got to watch. You got to know your body, right? And know what your body can handle. And they do say, check with your doctor before you add anything new or do anything like that. I might have to go get myself some water. All right, so here's a couple folded, ready to go. All right, so I'm going to just say we're just going to do it like this. I want to have it go this way. See, now I'm getting the threads. I'm getting the thread look, which I like. All right, let's start with a plain one. So we've got this plain one. I'm not sure where I want this chick, but I think I want her one. One of these pink. Probably going to trim her down. She's a little large. Could have printed her a little smaller. But even just this. Now this could be darker still, I think. All right, so where do I have? So here's my little pot of vintage antiquing paste. And somewhere on this very crowded desk, you know, my 12 inches of workspace, I have a little finger dauber. I know I threw one away, but I know I also have another. I'm just so disorganized. Okay, Ange. You should probably try to stay up after you eat, not lay down right away, Ange. Oh, here it is. It was in where I thought it was. We just, you know, you've been tired for the last few days. When do you go to the doctor again, Ange? Okay, so I'm just going to deepen these edges. Now I could make a pocket and slip this in, but I think I might just staple this on. Now, of course, if you don't want your hands to look like this, you can wear gloves. She says, Mom runs me to death. My mom runs me to death. You know, your mom's got a lot of energy for an older gal. All right, I should probably put something in there. Where did I put that kind of stuff? I had a piece here. Ange's mom is on the move and in the groove. Here's a piece. Let's get some of this. All right, let's see. So maybe I'll double my pleasure, double the fun. With double me gum. All commercials are not paid for, they're just free. My granddaughter is so excited because her braces are off, at least phase one. Oops, Scooter's in the kitchen. And she can chew gum. They were never allowed to chew gum before, but they're getting older now, so I guess now she's allowed to chew gum. Watch how you use the word old. That's right. I told some of you the other day, my husband said to me, You're not 71, you're 72. Oh, geez, I'm going to be 73. All right, I think I'm just going to staple that on right there like that. I'm going to use my tiny attacher. My tiny attacher. Look, Marty, I can use this one really easy. Look. What? Oh, what? See, now that could be a tuck spot. How about that? Now, there's genius right there, girls. Genius right there. That's free charge. I'm not going to charge her for that. Yeah, that's free. See, now I got that fabric back there. Let's do something on the back. Let's do something on the back of this one here. Let's see. Where did I put my bits? Oh, in my little Angie bowl. Something a little larger. You know, maybe I made some of these too dark. Let's do some layering. Let's do some layering, Maud. Okay. Let's put, now this was just something I cut out of different. This wasn't scrapbook paper. This is some other kind of paper. I don't know what kind. Joyce said, I got a new stapler. It has a place to lay up to 20 pages. Just wow, Joyce. And you got that thing to cut cardboard shapes. Wow. That's cool. You have to have a lot of oomph to push staples through 20 pieces of paper. You got sons though that'll help you, right? All right, so I'm going to put that there. And I think I want, well, that got messy. I think I want this kind of like that. Oh, you know what? I should have looked for the, oh, stink. I should have looked for the, that stuff I like that I never can think of the name. Cheesecloth. I should tuck that in there. I should tuck it. Tuck it, tuck it, tuck it. Okay. Now, let's see. See, now the problem is with this. If I tear this, I have that edge. Let's see if I can. Where's the chocolate? Where is the chocolate? Not this one, because this one's not locked. Melted chocolate. Yes, please. I'm going to spritz a little right here. Because you don't always know where you want to use something. Now, of course, that's wet. But I think I'm going to put her right here, and she can be a pocket. So I'm going to set that aside, see if she'll dry on her own. All right, let's see this situation here. So I've got fabric and some lace and fabric. Maybe I want something to wrap around. Let's see. Let's get out the goodie box here. I'm trying very, well, you know what? Let's just do this to be on the safe side. I'm trying not to knock this over. Of course, it's leaking. That's just water. Where's that paper towel here? So let's see what we have in here. Little bits and scraps. Bits and scraps in. Oh, this is cute. Look at this. That's cute. Some of that. Oh, here's some purple. That's cute. A little Raphael. Oh, that's kind of Christmas. Green. I was looking for something to wrap around the edge. You know, this is really lightweight. This could wrap around an edge, and I could ink that. I think that we should get together and try them. All right, hold on, wait a minute. I used my chop saw to cut out my cardboard for my. Oh, you did? Oh, that's exciting. All I got was a pair. Angie. Stop it, Joyce. I'm enabled enough. So I say I was in Laura's the other day, and she said, I was at scrapbook.com looking for stuff I don't need. I'm like, that's me. That is me right there. Always looking for stuff I don't need. Oh, I'm going to go in there, just, it'll be company for me. No. I end up buying stuff I don't need. Carol's doing her streamathon, and she's showing Kirby Roseanne coloring books. I have more of those coloring books than I can tell you. But no, I had to order it. I don't need it. So they come, I'm looking at them, I'm like, you know what, in person, when you can really look through the book and take your time, one's called Dark Fantasies. It's just not for me. I should have known that. One I ordered, I already have it. I already freaking have it. Okay. And the other one is like a 10-year thing. Well, I got all the years. I don't need, I need therapy. That's what I need. I need it. I need therapy. What can I tell you? Look, that's kind of cool. All right, so I'm not seeing cheesecloth, but I know I have some. Oh, here's some. Speak of the devil, right there. So I do, however, need another one or two of these tins to keep little bits by my desk because I find them most convenient. Just tuck everything back in there. This is called a bread box. I got this at, this might have been at Home Goods. I was thinking Hobby Lobby, but I'm pretty sure it was Home Goods now that I think about it. Of course, I just like the shape. I didn't know it was a bread box when I bought it, but it doesn't matter. All right. Ow. All right, let's see what we can do here. Oh, there's a little tag. So I'm just going to wrap. I mean, I could really get my punch out and do, I'm not crazy about that a little bit. So maybe I'll snip that. Let's see if I can tear it. Oh, yeah. That's really curly there. So I'm just going to glue this. See, I've got other fabric there, but that's okay. Just whatever you like. And if you're not sure what you like, and if you're not sure that you can do this style or make it to look how you want it to look, just watch some videos and just pay attention to how they do it. I've found that most of the time it's layering for my taste. Putting stuff down, mixed medias, fabrics, papers, layering and doing all different stuff together kind of makes it look cool. Not that cool. I think I need a little piece of lace or something. Oh, look, here's these guys. Gosh, I think that's cute. All right, so I'm going to wrap this. Art therapy is disguised for oh. See, you learn something new every day. Something new every day. Every day. Well, now I just think this is the sweetest little trim. Wouldn't you like to have 100 yards of that trim in a couple different colors. Yes, I say yes, yes, yes. All right, maybe I'll do 5. See, now in this case, I'm making it a little taller than this piece, and I think that looks nice. And you may not, but that's fine. Because trust me, whatever you do, you don't like it, you can cover it up. And like I always say, it will look good from across the street. So just never mind about it. Just do it. Just do it. I'm just going on the very edge there. And I'm just putting glue in the back of these little flowers. Boop. This is kind of moving on its own. It's come alive. All right, now we can also wrap these, little paper things. Boy, I really no idea. So I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to crease that pretty well. And then maybe I'll just, see now I tore that, so I don't really want to put anything there. So maybe I'll put it up here. That'll be fine. But see, I don't like how you can see that white edge. So we'll find the inker. How am I on time? An hour and a half. I started late. Okay. 12:30. So I'll go a few more minutes, I think. I'm pretty sure Tanya doesn't come on till 2:30. Sandra at 4. Anne at 5. Right? Murray at I get confused because our times are different. So I think she's Central Time. And for me it's 8 or 8:30, I think. I miss what? Oh, it's Patty here. I miss Patty. Hi, Patty. Good afternoon. I think I'm going to get half of a peach and some cottage cheese when I'm done. That sounds yummy to me. Wish I had some watermelon. All right, so that's a little sticky. So we've got that other page working. Let's see, what else have we got here? Now this little paper had the little lace design on it. I still didn't see if anybody answered about the pages. Oh, I love these. Uh-oh. Avalanche. Avalanche. Got so much stuff here. Much different. All right. I like these little labels. Kind of looks good over there. Now see, this is a little, it's got that little felt piece in there, a little batting. Now this is really narrow. But see, it's got all these little quilted stitches. So what I like to do is get a little pair of scissors, if I can find them. Oh, here's Anne Marie. Hi, Anne Marie. Hello, welcome in. Good afternoon. And if you just snip a couple of these stitches, generally you can yank them all apart. This one may not cooperate, but see there, once I snip that one, it comes pretty loose pretty quickly. You can leave the threads in, that's kind of cool. But I'm thinking I want a piece of this. Now you could put the whole thing down too if you want the thickness and it doesn't bother you and it works. Do it. Um, now that I have that off, I'm not sure that I like that. What about this? And then just start layering, see what you like. And then don't forget you've done your stitches, so you don't always want to cover that up. Now see, I've got a patch of the batting right there. Maybe I'll do that. So I've got a glue explosion going on here, so just use all that up. And I'm going to wrap this. That looks like a good place for a button or something, or a little yo-yo. Oh, wait, hold on. Where to put the yo-yo? Back to yo-yos. I took them somewhere. Two little cream-colored yo-yos. I thought I'm not going to use those. I'll tuck them right in here. Oh, look. This is cute. This is a small bit of eyelet. That kind of looks cute. Maybe I should, Lori Jassy says hello. Oh, hi, Jassy. She texted you. I guess Kel's playing Yahtzee. Well, I wouldn't get the text, I guess. I was going to say if she texted you, she could text me. But I wouldn't see it till after the live. She's funny. Her's funny. All right, let's put that little bit of eyelet there. I like that there. I like it. I do. I need some little doily or yo-yo something wrapped there. Like I said, I know I just had two. I tucked into one of these little containers. I tucked it so well I cannot find it. Here they are. Just plain, but I think I'm going to take this apart. I was going to use this on the front of a journal and I didn't. I'm just going to do it. She's going to blame it on Jacqueline and say, because Jacqueline wants all of all the bowls I make. I can put a little button in the center there if I choose. Maybe just a little thing here that has, there we go, Main Street. Oh, where's that? Let's get a little piece of, see, so if your desk is a mess, I mean, really, you could work for hours just doing this kind of thing with it just the jazzy jazz that's on your desk. Plus the jazzy jazz. So I'm going to put that there. This, I think I want darker. The worst part is trying to find your finger dauber. So I really want that to show up. So the Eagles play at 4. So I'll be looking forward to tuning in. And then we usually play cards on Sunday, so I'm not sure about that yet. I could leave that hang off a little bit. That might be fun. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue here. This is just, Timmy paper. I put the glue too far. And that glue, excuse me, is going to hold down the cheesecloth. Yeah, I was fortunate to get this because it has the little yo-yo there. The little yo-yo. Let's give that a little trim. We can give this a little trim. All right, so we've got that. Never did use that. All right, let's see what we got so far. So I've got this one. And I've got this one. I want this to be a pocket here. See, it's drawn now. So let's put that on. So I'm just going to put the glue on the outer edges, just 3 sides. So it's a top loading pocket. So I'm going to put that right here in the corner so that page opens and shuts. You got some cool ones coming. Xena got me a little round Angie bowl. Is Xena here? Gosh, I miss Xena. Xena, if I missed you, hello, hello. I want Angie to make square ones. I don't know if she's going to do that or if she's going to try to do it. Okay, I put a couple of things over here the other day that I thought would look cute as stuffings. There were little pockets. I went to the thrift shop with my sister and I got some stuff. One was a plastic bag that had buttons in it, and then it had this little tin. Of course, you couldn't see what it was in there. But when I opened this up, this was filled with buttons. So there were some really different things in there. But a lot of them were on the cards, not like what we would like, but the cards like that come with, a suit jacket or something that has the extra buttons. But there were a couple of little pocket type things. And I thought, ooh, that would look cute in a journal pocket, but where did I put them? Where did I put them? I thought I set them right there. Here they are. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, it just fit. Look, see that fits. And look, there's a little string of a bob there. Let's see if we can just grunge this a little bit. Now, of course, it would be cool if it had a little piece of fabric in there, right? And this had a little something inside. Let's see. Let's put a couple of these little Timmy things in here. I don't really want the same. Oh, this is a little different. This is a little softer. Let's use this one. I'm going to double it up again. I've been awake since 4 o'clock this morning, so I'm starting to get the yawns. Girls. Now, of course, this is going right through the envelope. So you have to take it out to and undo this in order to take out what's in the envelope. See, normally I would use my pokey tool for this, but I don't know where I put it. I know, it's a shock to all of you, or many of you, I know, and I'm so very sorry to be such a disappointment. You slept terrible last night? Oh, Pangy. I slept okay. I just wake up and have to go to the loo. And I knew I wanted to do some prep work today. And at that time, I felt rested. And, the puppy's been in her crate all night, so I hate to make her wait. I think I need a little something else on here. Something else on here. Do. All right, so here it is. I inked this. I love this stamp. Image tree color guide. No idea. This is an image tree stamp. Never heard of it. Never really looked at that before. I just assumed it was a Stampin' Up. So I'm going to put it on here. Now I put little bits in there. Now you could color this, of course, Just depends on what you want to do. So we'll put, that's a little bit of a tight fit, but it works. It still works. Okay, so that's another page. This one we didn't work on, but it's got stuff on it. So right now, it's just, well, I'm not sure I like this, guys. The way it's kind of hanging off kind of far. I might have to trim. I think I might have to trim that. I don't have my fabric. Oh, wait a minute. I do have fabric scissors. I'm lying again. Oh, my goodness. I'm becoming such a liar. I think it'll still look fine, and I can still use this lace edge somewhere else. Oh, I didn't glue the back of that. I'm going to trim this right close. It's not going to be straight. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I like that better. Of course, I wouldn't mind it inked a little. Bite your tongue. Don't really. Oh, look, I'm getting the stitch. Getting the stitch design up. I stitched underneath there. I need some glue right here. So these book covers I bought from Pearl. I had no idea what I would do with them, but they're old. So I'm like, what distress things do I have on my desk? Oh, I shall tell you. Hold, please. All right. So there's a couple bits. So I have plenty to do, right? And so it's going to have a card cover, a hard cover here, and a card cover here. It's going to be much chubbier. I'm going to put in a lot more pages, and then I will cover the spine and probably do something on the front cover to make it look, old and crappy. Now, when I cut down my covers, I'm going to have an exposed edge from the inside of the cardboard or whatever it's made of. And so I'll probably put some ink or something on that and grunge that up as well. But I'll show you as I move along with this. And I really am thinking maybe I need to slice these open and just clamp my pages, glue them, let it dry, glue them, let it dry, and then just glue the signature into the spine. Or have a fly sheet or however, I decide to. But I don't think I'm going to pamphlet stitch these because when you look at her books, I don't think they look like this. I mean, they don't, right, Peggy? They don't look like this, do they? I don't know. Maybe it is me. All right. So on my desk, I have, and then I should probably cut out. What time is it now? Oh, it's 1:45. 1:45. We're having so much fun. All right, let's see. Amaritz wants to know, what do I have on my desk? This is a little pot that has a little bit of vintage antiquing paste in it. It comes in a big tube, big tube. I squirted it in that little pot. This is just a regular inker. I have Dilution's melted chocolate. This was kind of yummy. Oh, it's upside down? Oh, you want to know a particular one? I don't know. This upside down. I don't see anything upside down. Well, let's just go through. This one is spray stain antique linen. This one is tea dye. This has got a little bit of a redness to it. I just moved it. This was the melted chocolate. That's what I had sprayed over here. And dipped the edge of that to photograph in. This one, the label, who knows what happened to it? It looks like the label turned black. No idea. In the box. Oh, good grief. What box? Box. I'm sorry. I'm just, you know what? You just moved it and she says it's a box. I'm very literal. I don't think I have a box on my desk. This is a dish. Box. Oh, this? A square box. This is a dish. I am so sorry. I've got some latte alcohol ink here. I can go back and look at the video and see if I can figure out what you're talking about. Does anybody else see what Amaret sees that I'm not seeing? These are round. They're off screen. You can't see this. This is a glass dish round. This is glass round. This is rectangle glass. You said regular inker. Like just a moment ago or a little while ago? Heavens to Murgatroyd. Sorry, my great nephew. That's okay, Ange. The little square box. Oh, this. This is just a little black. I think this is archival, a distress inker, a small black inker. Ink pad. Is that what you mean? There's that. Because that's what I use. I inked this with it. So maybe that's what you're talking about. Looks so unfamiliar upside down. Yeah, that's all it is. Just one of those little guys. Okay, cleared up that mystery. Whew, that's good. That's good. All right. So I've got all these, which, they still can have a little bit on them, but they also have a little bit done to them. And Paper Palace Queen, does anybody follow her? She left all of her strings, which are just very intriguing to me. Yeah, I just think it's a totally different look when they're stacked inside of each other. I did a magazine, a page type book, watched Shannon Green. It's one of her older videos now. And she took all the magazine pages and stacked them like this and just clamped them together and glued them. She made sure they were all straight and then glued them. And then when that dried really well, she glued the back and glued it into her cover. So I'm on my way. I'm on my way to make this. I know. I'm still not going to like. It's going to be okay, but it's not going to be like. It's not going to be like the Queens. I wanted to look like the Queens. All right, so let me just mention this again. If you are interested in sometime just popping on and arting with a couple of girls, or maybe just me, I am creating a list via Instagram where I will, like I did yesterday, I sent a message to the ladies on this list. I am going to be at my desk at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to join in and art with us or with me and hang out for a little while, here's the link. It will be unlisted, unless I have a problem. I'm always going to use that link. But I'll give it to the girls on the list every time, and then you just click that, and then you'll come in. I'll say, get a little noise when you pop into the room. I'm not sure how many I can have at one time. I'm thinking 6. It might be 10, but I think it's probably 6. And then if there's a lot of people available at the time when I do it, we may have to take turns going in and out. Of course, I have to stay there. So yesterday I had time. I felt like some company. So I put it out there. Carol, my quiet corner, she had some time. So she came in and she and I just chatted and did our own thing and crafted for about 2 hours. And then she had to go, and that was fine. Worked out well. And, even if we don't necessarily see you, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. We can still hear you and we can converse. My goal is I sit at my desk a lot and work on stuff, and it's nice to have company. Sometimes you don't want company, but sometimes it's nice to have company. And the thing of it is like when Jacqueline and I chat, or me and Kel chat, it's like you got to put down whatever you're working on, pick up the phone, or go to the keyboard and click, 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 and send a message. This way, we're just talking, right? If you put Instagram in your browser, you should be able to click on a link, and then it should say, open an account. And it doesn't cost anything to open an Instagram account. So, okay, Ange. So, and I know with some of us, the time change, time, it's like I just sent a message to Janet Nash. in all likelihood, most times it's not going to work for her because it's 5 or 6 hours different depending on what time of year. But it might, sometime maybe she'll be awake and can't sleep or whatever. And for me, it's just going to be whenever. It may be in a morning, it may be at night, it may be on a weekend. It just whatever my schedule allows. And I feel like having some company, doing some art. So it could be fun. I don't know how interested anybody else might be in it, but there it is. That's what I'm doing. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And that's me. That is me, Anne Marit. That is me, Paint Girly. I don't know. It's a hard name for people to remember. The other day, somebody called me Paint Tree. Paint Tree. Yeah. Yeah. They can't seem to read the word Paint Girly. I don't know what the confusion is, but so recently I've been doing Paint Girly Lori, hoping not to make it any more confusing. So I hear my phone tingling, so maybe Anne Marit's just sent me a thing, and yeah, there she is. I got it, Anne Marit. So I hope I'm saying your name right. And so, I'm assuming you did that because you're interested. Oh, you know what? I forgot I made some painful tape. See, I just keep yapping. Put a piece of this on somewhere. Say, maybe right here. Let's see. I don't know if there's any sticky left on this. Oh, it's got some sticky. It's got some sticky. Oh, I love it. Now, see, I just made this, right? You're pressing hearts. My phone keeps going. And now I have hearing aids so I can hear it. Woo-hoo. So I'm just going to keep stacking these. And like I said, I'm probably going to stitch a couple of more as well. But I have quite a few pages going here, guys. This one's still a little damp. This one's damp. So I want to make sure they're dry when I fold them and put them in. Yes, you're interested? Okay, good to know. All right, I'll add you. So we'll see in the next little while, next couple of days. This one's still damp. Okay, these are all going to have to get ironed, I think, before I add some more. All right, I'm going to skedaddle. Oh, I made my screen extra large. And now I've lost you as far as the chat. I don't know what's happening here. Escape. There we go. Here we go. I know. Well, see, I'm liking journals smaller and smaller. But see, there again, I don't actually journal. I do art, and I like the look of those little ones. I've mentioned this a couple of times too. I don't know. Sometimes you think when you're a content creator, you think, oh my gosh, how many times have I said that? But Susan Taylor Brown, she's got something called the Just Because journal, and it's cloth, and it's small like that. Maybe not quite that small. Hers might be more this size, maybe a little bigger. And it's fabric. And then she just, does different stitches or puts buttons or layers different fabrics on each page. And then she'll wrap some thread around or some yarn or whatever. And it's the most delicious looking little creation. It's just, you want to touch it. You know what I mean? You want to make it. You want to touch it. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I did pull out a couple of pieces of like packaging paper that I want to also put in here, to put some dye on or whatever, and to treat to have a couple of different looking pages in. But see, now look at this one's getting as it's drying. It's looking cool. I don't know that it looks grungy, but it looks cool. You know? I know, fibers on me, right? Ugh. When Ron was getting his cast on and they were wrapping that gauze around, of course, my husband said something to her. Yeah, my wife was eyeing up that gauze when you were taking off the last wrapping. And she's like, this? And I'm like, no, not the squares, the one on the roll. And she's like, this? And she had a little bit left. Oh, she tossed it to me. My husband said, what are you going to do with that? I said, well, there's this lady, Susan Taylor Barron. You just dye this and scrunch it up and stitch it on a page. And it looks fabulous. Of course, I haven't done that yet. Hey, there's Amy. Amy, I'm just getting ready to skedaddle, I hate to say. But yeah, so that's it for me today. So I really am going to get a pot of soup going. And I really should work on a couple of other things that have somewhat of a deadline. But, I'm probably in all likelihood going to work on some more of these pages because I tend to be obsessed. Thank you, Amy. That's very sweet. It's nice to see you. Hope you're doing well and that you had a good holiday and brought in the new year well. Thanks for coming in, ladies. I'm sorry for the confusion up front when I got started. I don't know. My brain didn't kick into gear. But all that aside, thanks for coming in and being here, hanging out. If you need to leave me a message, that'd be great. I'll be happy to get back to you. And if you're interested in I'm calling it the art. I was going for ART, but that was somebody else was using that name, and I had an issue at the beginning doing that. So it's the art, RT, capital RT connection. So if you see that and you're interested, let me know, and I'll add your name to my Instagram list. And the next time I'm at my desk, just doing whatever and feel like hanging out, I'll give you all a shout, whoever's on that list. And if you can join me, join me. No pressure. Just an opportunity to art and maybe get to know each other a little better. All right. So have a great rest of your day. My dog's sneezing. I shall see you hopefully Tuesday evening. Gosh, Sunday already. All right, we're already a weekend into 2026. Crazy. All right, ladies, thank you so much. Love to all of you. Take care. And don't forget to take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. And until next time, bye for now.